Well folks, after years of speculation, rumour and a little bit of mystery, JCB has finally revealed its brand new Fastrac 6000 series tractor. Now, to find out more about this new development, what we're going to do two things. So first up, we're going to do a walk round episode, which is what you're going to see now. So we're going to dive into the nitty gritty of this tractor and find out what it's all about, what it's made up of and why as well. And then in another episode coming up, we're going to get into the field, behind the wheel, for a full-on driving impression, getting stuck into the operation, features and functionality of this tractor. So we've got all that coming up for you, so without further ado, let's get stuck in. Right folks, let's get stuck into the walk round of this new Fastrac 6000 series tractor, and to tell us all about it, we've got Mr. Greg Fitton here, who is General Manager of JCB Fastrac. So, Greg, we'll dive in. I mean, first question, and I think it's the one you're going to get asked a lot. What's taking you so long? Because we've been speculating about this 6000 series for a long time.
You're right, it's probably been the world's worst kept secret, but we really have. It's a ground up new tractor.
Yeah.
Every single bit of this tractor is new. And as you can imagine, you've seen some of the work that goes into making a tractor over the last few series. It's been a big job.
Yeah.
You know, and we probably should talk about some of the bits in this now to just show you why it's taken quite a number of years to get the tractor where we are.
That's it, and the only sort of, from our point of view, the only sort of recognisable piece is that cab, which we'll come to later. So that's still the same frame.
Still the steel frame, still the same glass,
yeah,
and same structure, because that's a nice place to be.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we're not going to change it if it's not broke.
But everything else,
everything's
brand new on this. So 6000 series then.
Yeah.
Easy one for you now. How many models have we got then?
So we've got two models. There'll be a 6260 and a 6300. So 6260 aims at the sort of plus 250 horsepower sector, 284 horsepower peak,
right?
260 horsepower at the PTO.
Yeah.
And then the 6300, the big, flagship of the range.
So this one we've got behind us.
Yeah, the one we got here. So that is a 6300, 335 horsepower peak.
Right.
1400 newton meters of torque. Out of the 6.7 litre FPT engine.
Right. So you got plenty of torque for it.
Plenty of
and
that.
like you say, we've got 300 here. So that's what you're going to get all day long,
near
pretty
enough.
much.
Yeah,
that's
there's no power boost.
Power.
That's the PTO power. That's
right.
the max power 335. You'll get 300 horsepower-ish out the rear.
Yeah.
Because we're running a CVT transmission in here, we want a flat curve, so we don't have any peaks and troughs as such.
Yeah.
It's just so you get it. So between 1200 and 1800, you've got plenty of torque there to keep you going when you
get all of it.
When the going gets tough.
Yeah. That's exactly where you want it. Right. So you mentioned then, engine-wise, we'll start with that.
Yeah.
You've gone FPT with this.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. So there was a bit of thinking behind that. We went out to the market. One of the biggest drivers behind this product was to make it manoeuvrable, compact for its horsepower. And the 6.7 litre engine from FPT really gave us the right package of solution. We've got quite a high power density. It's a 6.7 litre, so it's quite a compact engine.
Yeah.
And where we put the engine in a Fastrac does dictate that we have some challenges. We have full suspension, we have a chassis, so we wanted a nice compact engine to fit in there, and FPT was the best solution on the market. Right,
let's go to the other major component, following on from that. It's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Bit difficult to see, but it's in there.
So, transmission.
Yeah.
What are we on now?
So we've gone to a ZF.
ZF, right.
Yeah.
So all change in the transmission department.
Yeah. So we've got a ZF Ecom 3.1 family transmission.
Right.
That's a 4-range CVT.
Yeah.
So we've having 4 ranges. We believe that we have more efficiency because you've got essentially 4 efficiency nodes then where it's maximum efficiency.
You get sort of like 4 peak points where you've got almost 100% mechanical power transfer.
Yeah. So it is a bespoke set of ratios for the Fastrac.
And even though we've got 4 ranges in there, That's not something that the operator has to worry about or think
No.
about, is it? Because that's all from
Full
what
auto
I
change.
understand
Yeah.
from driving other tractors with ZF in.
Yeah.
It's all you have to think about is giving it a target
Press and go.
speed.
Press and go.
That's
or
it.
set a speed and it will just go and it will automatically shift up. And to be honest, you can't feel them.
No.
It's silky
It's all
smooth.
part
It's
of-
just part of the transition
Yeah.
between 0 and a top speed of 66 kilometres an hour.
So if we go back round to the front, Greg,
Yeah.
6.7 litre engine in there. It's
Yeah.
developing a lot of horsepower for the size of it.
Yep.
Presumably that's going to take a bit of management in terms of the heat. So
Yeah.
what have you got going on under here?
So yeah, James, under here, we'll have a look under the bonnet while we're here. So what you'll see is this a bespoke cooling pack designed to cool that 335 horsepower. It's quite traditional, as in it's a water-cooled stacked radiator
Yeah.
system. We've got a viscous fan as standard, but you can have an optional electronically controlled fan,
Right.
which monitors the temperature of most of the cooling pack individually. So we can turn the fan on and off and increase the pitch of the blades to suit the cooling. That
Right.
also enables it to reverse as well, so we have a reverse fan option
Right.
within all that system.
So you can do on-demand cooling.
Exactly.
Give
So
it-
if we
cool it
see,
as much as
yeah,
it
so if we
needs.
see the water going high
Yeah.
or starting to get hot, we can turn the fan on more. But if we see the intercooler going up a little bit more on the top here,
Yeah.
or if we see the hydraulics going slightly warmer, we can turn the fan, which is different than a viscous fan, which would just take an average of everything and only react to the average.
Yeah.
So then is a little bit less efficient. And again, that's about just making exactly the right decisions at the right time.
Yeah. That's it. And like say you can reverse that.
Yeah, that
option-
gives that
the
reverse,
optional
which
one.
is all integrated within the touchscreen, so you can set your purge times and your reverse times. You can program onto a joystick button. You can do everything. Once you've got it controllable,
Yeah.
you can do what you want with it.
Right, so you could do like a little manual burst.
Yeah,
or
manual
leave it on
burst,
a
so you can
time,
set it, or in theory, you could put it in your headland management that it does at the end of the row every time you get to the end.
Alright.
It gives you a thing, but
Yeah.
but that's customer's choice.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it different. Some people like their own control, some don't.
There you go. And speaking of, looking after this tractor, talk us through maintenance and intervals. And
Yeah,
things
so
like
it's
that.
a big change for us. This, so
Right.
we're going to 1,000-hour service intervals on
So
this
that is a big
tractor.
jump from
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we've
So
got
we were on
used to.
600 on a 4220 now,
Yeah.
and it's industry leading. There's very few ag machines now at 1,000 hours, but it really is down to the detail of making sure that this tractor has a cost of ownership that's right for the market. And the pressures on agriculture, as we all know, are huge. So making sure that we service it at the right time,
Yeah.
but only when we need to,
Yeah.
is key.
So
the end-
effectively, you could get a proper season out of this.
season out. That's the
before-
idea. It's
Yeah.
annual or 1,000 hours, and most people nowadays, if you're buying this sort of tractor, you should be doing 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
You need to be doing
To
1,000
get it paying
hours.
for itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can actually get to the dipstick
Yeah,
down
yeah,
there
yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah.
You can actually reach
Yeah, you
it
can
quite
actually see.
handily.
Yeah.
And just speaking of service intervals,
Yeah.
what about transmission?
2,000 hours on
That's
the transmission.
2,000 on
Yeah,
that
so
one.
line up with the thing. So you should
Yeah.
only be seeing the tractor or being able to do maintenance like that, routine maintenance every 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
Obviously, there'll be a smaller service and then a larger service, then a smaller service as you go through.
Chassis.
Chassis.
Full
yeah.
frame chassis,
Full
which
frame
you've had
chassis.
since day one.
Exactly. Sticking to our roots, front to back, full frame chassis. So all the loads go through the chassis. We're not bending engines. We're not doing anything like
Yeah.
that. That takes
Leave
the
them
loads.
to do what they
They
need
do
to do.
right, and the chassis does what chassis do, which is carry the loads. And you can see here a big step change.
Yes. Cast.
So cast chassis, but only cast chassis up to the midpoint.
Yeah.
So it goes cast up to the front windscreen near enough,
Yeah.
and then it's a fabricated frame on the back, similar to what you've seen in some of your other episodes.
That's right.
But this is the step away.
And why go for this half
So
cast?
There's a couple
design?
of different reasons, but the main reasons is two reasons are we wanted more strength. This is a bigger tractor. This has got a 5-ton front linkage on now,
Yeah.
which is a lot more stress on the chassis. But it's also you want to get in a really small space. So
Yeah.
as I mentioned at the beginning, this tractor's got to be really manoeuvrable, and to get it really narrow and get the material in the right place, we found cast was the only way of getting that strength in that space.
Right.
So that's why you'll
get
see it's quite scalloped. If you look down
Yeah.
here, you can see at the back where the wheel tucks in.
Like
there's
a wasp
a wasp
shape.
nest, trying to get it a little bit
Yeah.
narrower. Maintain your visibility.
Yeah.
If you looked on the old, very early tractors, they had a chassis flitch that used to sit that
Yeah.
just took another couple of inches of view to your front. And if we can keep that in, it just gives you a better view of the crop that you're trying to drive in between usually.
That's it. So like already, as we're talking about, you know, what's gone into this new 6000 series, it's just those little bits,
The little
here,
bits,
there,
yeah,
the little
yeah,
details
little
that
details,
just keep
yeah.
adding up, adding up, adding up.
So the chassis loader ready as well. So you'll see further down the back, there's bolt holes ready to put a loader on.
This is going to be a fair loader tractor, Greg.
Fair loader. You're going to be shifting some stuff here.
Someone's going to
James,
want
with
it
this.
though, aren't
Yeah, if people, you know, customers have asked for it.
Right.
So
well,
when we
the
were
demand's
talking
there
about
then,
it,
isn't
they were saying, look, in the future, their next tractor wants to be bigger, but they can't manage, they want a loader with it.
I'd like a 300 horse loader tractor.
Yeah. Maybe not just around here, but,
No.
you know, we're a global company and we've got to talk to our global customer
Exactly,
base.
you've got to think about these
Yeah,
customers around the
exactly.
world
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all the different demands
Yeah.
that's going to be put on this tractor. So we've had a good look at chassis now. We'll carry on now with axles, brakes, suspension. This is what makes.
This is Fastrac DNA.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right there. You know, and we haven't stepped away from that.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly, you've talked about that a few times, but if we start in this front end, the axle pair is completely, this tractor's four-wheel steer.
Yeah.
So this is 335 horsepower
With four-wheel steering.
So these new axles, built by Dana,
Right.
incorporated, we've obviously got 1400 newton meters of torque coming out the engine, you know, for a CVT. They're heavy duty.
There's a bit of twisting force to cope with, isn't
They
there?
are built for that horsepower.
Yeah.
You know? And also why we were doing that, we had to keep the DNA of Fastrac. So we've
Yeah.
got to have disc brakes.
Yeah.
We've got to have the four-wheel steer that we just made, but we've also got to have all the suspension mounting points.
Yeah.
Because suddenly this axle is a free floating suspended axle, and you'll see that some of that in the back there. You can see that we've still retained the link multi-link suspension system, and you'll see the hydro pneumatic connection here. So you've got the rams connected to the axle, giving you the feel, and that's the same front and aft, but it's also all a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, and that sort of like this concept, the suspension concept, that's the same as the 4000 effectively. That double acting.
Effectively double acting. Yeah, where we monitor both sides, as I think Robin's mentioned to you, both sides of the suspension bram are monitored and pressure measured. Then we can react, so we can also put pressure into the suspension to make it effectively put pressure on the wheel as well as react to it like a suspension system.
It. So will you be able to do self-leveling with this tractor
so it's
as well?
self-leveling front and rear, side to side as well, because it's independently cornered, measured to where it is, its ride height, and also what pressure's in there, so we can adjust.
So that's suspension. You've got that on there. Brakes.
So you can see there's a pretty hefty caliper on the front of there. So 2 or 3 big changes for brakes. Still retain DNA, still outboard disc brakes. All the braking is done outside in the fresh air to get rid of the heat and keep that. So every time you stop, exactly how you think you should stop. No brake fade, no temperature, no contaminants of stuff in the oils.
Yeah.
But we've gone to a single caliper. That's essentially to get the stopping power. There's 4 75mm pots, caliper pots in each caliper.
In each caliper.
Yeah.
Right.
We've got a brake disc that now fits over the hub, so you can actually change the brake discs without taking any seals apart, just like your car. You just pull the disc off with the wheel. And that, for the industry, we've got brake wear indicators on here now. So you can see electronic brake indicators, so we know when the brake pads are wearing down, to give you the only tractor on the market that tells you when your brakes are wearing out.
Yeah. Jesus.
So you can see that just at the front there. But yeah, it's but we got ABS as well.
So
ABS still there, absolutely still core to what we do. So we're making sure that we're not compromised. Our tractor goes quick.
Yeah.
But there's no
you want to
compromise.
stop quick as well.
Yeah, you want to stop quick and you want to stop right every time.
Yeah. Right, shall we we'll slide round here, Greg, and wheels, tyres. Go on, talk us.
So this is on our standard offering on a 6300 model. So 650 60x38. You can go up to a 710 wide as an optional wider all round. So it's equal wheel. So back to that core DNA we talked about earlier.
That's right, yeah.
It's an equal wheel concept, this.
Yeah.
So they're all the same wheels.
So it's not quite like the 8000 series, where
has
it's a bit bigger at the back.
Yeah, no, we've gone all the way around the same.
Right.
If you go down to you can have a slightly narrower option if you want to go down to the smaller model. Yeah. There's a 600 option. And probably while we're on tyres, you know, you might have noticed, we've been wandering around.
I've noticed this thing down here, yeah.
Probably our biggest step change in technology has been to go to a full integrated CTIS system.
So central tyre inflation.
Central tyre inflation, an option, you know, because it's not for everybody, but it's becoming more and more popular, especially on your professional users. You know, guys who really want to look after their soil health, their fuel efficiency, all that type of thing. They really want to get into right pressure. And again, this is back to one of them comments I made earlier. It's just in the right thing at the right time.
Yeah.
You know, so you can make your tractor exactly get that efficiency just right. So this is a fully integrated system, and again, that's part of the axle design.
Yeah,
Because you've got to get the air from the stopped bit to the moving bit.
Yeah, well that's it. You haven't got any of this external pipe work that can get caught on gates and whatever else. Exactly. So this is all in the axle.
All integrate. Both axles, it comes down onto the axle beam, and you maybe can have a look later, and then it drops in, and then for a rotating seal within the axle, and then out to the wheel.
Right.
But it's a single line system. Essentially, we only have one air line out to the wheel. When the air goes out and lets itself down, the air comes out to the rim. So so a lot of other systems on the market are a two line where you've got an in and an out, like an hydraulic valve, where you've got air in and then it goes back in the system.
Yeah.
We have a valve that we pulse to say go down, and then the air's exhausted into atmosphere. So any dirty air that's from inside the tyre goes straight out, not back in our system.
Right, so you're always effectively putting clean air back in.
Exactly. Yeah, and single line also means less complexity, because there's only one set of seals, there's only one pipe that has to go across your axle, like across to the swivel. Biggest challenge though, central tyre inflation, is getting enough air. So you get twin compressors. When you stick TTIS option, you get two 350cc compressors sat on the side of the engine.
Right.
Because you need plenty of air. There's no point if it takes an hour. So this will change 1 bar in all 4 tyres within 4 minutes.
All right.
So really quick time, pump up time, to make sure that because if you think about the application of CTIS, it's coming in out of field or doing a job where you're changing, you want it to be the right pressure pretty quickly. It'll drop in 40 seconds and it'll pump up within 4 minutes.
Well, that's it, because like if you're doing cultivation, that's fair enough. It doesn't have to be quick for that, because once you're in the field, you change your pressure and you stay in the field. But if you're doing transport work, you see it a lot on the continent. You've got these massive trailers, massive tankers. Yeah. They're in and out, and they want to be.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you knew you were coming to a gate hole, you'd press it a couple of minutes before you got there. By the time you're in the field, you're down. You're really quick. And then when you're coming out, you can press it. You can program it all in the headland management or into the system here. And interesting, we can set individual tyre.
No.
So we don't do front and rear or anything. It's individual tyre. So you can also do left and right. So
why would you want that?
So back to your utility option in the future, or even a big hedge cutter maybe. Maybe it's not a hedge cutting tractor, but that type of load offset to one side. You might want to just put another half a bar in one side just for a little while you're actually working, just to give it a bit more stability. Yeah. Rather than having a mechanical system, you can probably do it enough with tyres for some jobs.
Right.
So we just said, if we're going to make it adjustable, let's make let's make it so customers, and then you have options of road and field, so you have a quick select, you can set 2 pre-selects and just toggle between them on the joystick, or you can program in the headland management if you wanted to. It's all, once it's in there and in the control of the system, we've just left it to let you as an operator pick what you want to do.
Right, so completely configurable.
Yeah. Other thing on central tyre inflation.
Yeah. Oh, I hope there's more.
Yeah, there's more. So this is one of the, when we're in development, and you've done quite a bit with Richard and the development team, one of the things they found is the air gets really hot. So compressed air gets hot.
It does, yeah.
And the biggest,
quickly as well.
It gets hot, and when things get hot and cold, you get moisture and things like that. So we've got twin air dryers on this tractor to keep the air dry. Yeah. We've also got a blast cool in the cooling pack. So the air before it goes in any of the CTIS system is cooled to make sure it's the right temperature. So then we don't get any seals warm and do any damage to any seals.
Again, it's those little,
it's just a little bits of things that you think, everybody thinks it's a simple, making a tractor's a simple operation, and it is a simple machine when it's finished, but it's that complexity of that detail.
And can you alter these tyre pressures on the move?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can, inflate is infinite speed, anywhere up to 68. Deflate, you can only do it under 30k, because obviously you wouldn't want to be doing 60k down the road and just accidentally let your tyres down.
Right, Greg, we'll continue round this tractor, and while we're passing this area, just talk us through a few bits of practicalities.
While we're here, James, this is what we call the pannier. So you'll have seen that on, again, Fastrac DNA. Let's keep, the cab in the middle. Let's fix some of the structures. So we've got the hydraulic tank at the back and a toolbox there. But the main bit here is really talking about the SCR. So after treatment is a thing we have to deal with in tractors now. Yeah. But we take the view of, we don't really want it to impede the visibility. No. So what we've done is, as you'll see on some of the other Fastracs you've seen, the SCR system is mounted in here. Yes. So this is as a box. It's all enclosed, and that removes the need for anything that's going to restrict your visibility.
That's it. You haven't got a massive dust bin up here, have you? A massive wheelie
exactly.
bin.
That is just the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
It is, you'll see at the bottom corner there, it is an aspirated air filter as well on this. So we actually use a Venturi in here to create a vacuum in the air filter to get the dirt out of the air filter.
And is this still doing what you did on your 4000? It draws hot air out of there as well.
To try and keep it all cool in there. Yeah, exactly that. So we kept some of the stuff, that's something that we found worked really well, so we'll carry on with that.
Keep that on. Yeah.
We've got at the bottom, one of the comments we got, a lot of customers say, tractors nowadays have a lot of add-on bits. PTO stub shafts, drawbars, I want to put my own toolbox in, I want to do whatever. And everybody goes, where can I put it? So we've put a bit of a tray under the bottom here, so you can put a cantilever toolbox in. You've got your PTO stubs.
Deep, is that?
It goes down to the back there.
Yeah.
So you can slide your own cantilever. Because
you get a big toolbox
in there. You've your PTO stubs there.
Yeah,
two stubs there, You can put your top link if you want. Drawbar fits in here if you're not having a pick-up picture or a drawbar.
Oh, so your drawbar go up there,
slide in there, So it's just giving somewhere for just to keep stuff.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You can tell you're a British manufacturer because you thought about where to put pick-up pitch and drawbars, which you don't.
On the continent, nobody worries about because they're all just there.
It's like sort yourself out.
Exactly, So we've had a bit of a different thought process.
We want that.
Yeah, and then as we mentioned earlier, hydraulic tank.
Yeah.
So that's on its own. That's its own bespoke hydraulic tank just for the hydraulics.
Yes.
So it does the suspension, steer, anything that runs on hydraulic oil.
That's coming out of there.
Yeah.
And what would be like the takeout capacity?
So it's just over 90 litres of usable oil in there,
right?
Which is a ratio of, it's about 140 litre tank capacity, but obviously there's only a usable amount in there.
Yeah, that you can go putting into rams and things and whatever.
Yeah. Which we haven't found anything yet that it hasn't got enough capacity, so we're pretty sure that's about right.
That's it. Right, we'll carry on round. Right, we'll get to the business end of the tractor. Rear linkage. Go on, lift capacity on
11
this.
ton.
11 ton.
Right,
you're not scrimped there.
It's not shy.
No.
Ultimately, you've got to be able to, we're seeing more and more mounted 7-furrow type ploughs. They're heavy. You need to be up to that 10 plus ton to really be the boss of that type of implement now. And then again, you can see the 4-wheel steer here in action. So this is needed on the hitch. It needs some design of the lift arms to be a little bit different than your standard, because
like
that tyre goes where your lift arm would normally sit. So you'll see they've got a kink in the arm more than maybe you would have on a traditional 3-point linkage.
It almost, it must be worth it, but it almost begs the question, like, you are so different, aren't you?
Yeah,
when it comes to tractor design.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our customer, you get a customer out of a Fastrac and say, would you want to go and sit in something that wasn't as different?
Yeah.
They won't go back.
No.
Because the reason we do this is because we're giving customers what they want.
Yeah.
Which is manoeuvrability, comfort, speed, and all the other things that tractors do.
And the stopping power
and stopping power, and all that has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So we end up, there are some things we have to, as Robin has mentioned many times, engineering, marketing, customer, they're all a compromise of getting a perfect mix of what we believe is the
it all gets thrown into a pot.
And some things get dropped out and some things stay in and some things are different by the time we get to production. But
well, speaking of getting to production, we must state that this is a pre-production machine.
It's a pre-production.
If you do see a little the odd bit that's out of place, that's why. Right, coming back, so we've got 11 ton lift capacity. Number of spills, what can we have on this?
So we can have 6 at the rear and 2 at the front as a maximum. So you can see this one's got a 5 setup here with the Power Beyond function. Biggest change with hydraulics is this, so we've gone to a push-in, pull-out, so you can see the levers on the top.
Oh, like decompression levers.
Decompression, but also what they do is that you can walk the valve in to couple under pressure as well.
All right.
So they decouple under pressure, and then as you push the lever the other way, it'll pull onto the coupling and pull it into the thing. So you're not only kicking it out, you can also feed it in and use the lever to pull it in.
Right.
Which has been there's been quite a lot of work with Fastrac, our supplier of thingy. This is again a new design of wanting to just move on from just decouple into this decouple and recouple. And then flow rates, because this is, we get a lot of comments, this will do over 200 litres a minute. It's standard, guys, 205 litres a minute.
Right.
We have a 410 litre option, twin 85cc pumps.
Right.
Available. Again, that's driven by some of the implement technologies moving to more hydraulic design away from PTO. So some of the big seed drills in America, Australia are definitely needing that 300 plus. But we said let's Let's just
there
go.
You
You
can
can
have
have
it.
twin Power Beyond systems on it as well if you wanted to run 2 separate Power Beyond systems as well. So it's quite a step up in hydraulic power.
Blimey, PTOs.
Yeah, so 4-speed PTO,
Yeah.
selectable shaft, you just bolt on
Yeah.
what you want. It's also got a soft engage now, so you can program your ramp rate.
All right.
So the feedback from customers was the standard ramp rate is good for 90% of implements, apart from them odd few, either the really light stuff or the really heavy stuff. It's always either a bit harsh or a bit not quick enough. So now you have basically, you can pick how fast you want the PTO to ramp in.
Again, just a bit more customisation.
Yeah, just make it, because a big baler, you know, you look at it like a 1290 Krone, you know, it takes some getting going.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big challenge. So we said, let's make it so it's a bit easier on the tractor.
So just gently feed it in. Right.
But that's not a great, if you've just got a relatively small PTO powered implement, that probably takes too long.
Yeah.
You think it should be going
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we can see here, we've got the ladder hitch on.
Yeah, so this is
style.
as you mentioned earlier, this is a pre-machine series machine, so it's got a lot of options that maybe not traditional to the UK, but we've got what we call a short ladder.
Yeah.
So this has a pickup hitch and a ladder.
All right, it's got a bit of everything.
Yeah. So this has got the full works. If you're on the continent, you may have a full long ladder and no pickup hitch, but there are some countries that actually.
Is this for Scandinavia,
so
North
Central Europe and Northern Europe have a bit of this because they still have some. They want to play all worlds, if you get what I mean. They want a pick-up hitch when that suits. They want a ladder when that suits. It's just giving the customer the options.
What about visibility down to here? Because that's always the challenge with the Fastrac.
So we're always going to have that, and we're not going to fix that, you know, because the cab's going to stay in the middle.
Because it's here and that's there.
and we can't change the bits in between particularly well. But what we have done, we now have as standard a pick-up hitch camera that's mounted under the back.
Right.
So as soon as you drop the pick-up hitch, you get a full view of the floor here, and that goes straight in through into the terminal. So it's all bolted in. And
that's just under there somewhere?
Under there. Yeah.
Right.
And on cameras, we've gone from just 4 analogues. You can now put digital and analogues. And you've also got cameras on the roof there, under the number plate, one in the front of the bonnet as well. Yeah. So you can have 3 integrated cameras plus 2 further add-on cameras.
So you've got 3 on here already before you've even got to what's on
before you can
implement.
put whatever on, yeah.
Right, and that's just a plug and play.
So you'll see on the back here there's a camera input there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to plug a camera down on the back of your trailer, on the back of the spud harvester or whatever. New LED lights all around, so we offer you can see here we've got a free 60 lighting package now.
There's plenty on, isn't there?
Yeah, there's plenty of lighting, and you need that.
There's 3 on each corner, isn't there? And that's just in the roof.
Just in the roof, and then you've got the ones here. You then have. And they're all LED as standard, so we've got you don't get a halogen option anymore on these tractors. They're all LED. They get mid-mounted. You've got ones here and then ones in the bonnet. Yeah, just trying to give that visibility.
And have you made things? Have you changed this side? We had a look at the other side.
So we have changed. So again about service, we've made some things a little bit easier to service. So you'll see under here now, access to the battery is a little bit easier, so you can go straight in and get to the battery. You've got your fillers and stuff, just getting it all a little bit easier to your isolator if you wanted to.
Couple of
it's all quite easy. You can take this off, this just comes off if you want to just go in there and have a good look at what it is. It just makes it all that bit easier to work with, because we all know them are the sort of things we use, not every day, but you'll use them quite often.
It's one of them things, isn't it? If you make it easy to do, people will do it.
And they'll use it, won't they? So that's the concept there. So
So you got that on there. You got an airline here in the middle as well.
So that's new as well. So that's for our customers that want to get out and blow the cab out, or they actually, for people who haven't had CTIS option, there's no excuse now. They can actually plug the airline and blow them up themselves manually if they want. Yeah. So again, not really anything too drastic on here. Fuel tank, AdBlue, and the cab air filter. That's pretty traditional. Yeah. Step gallery. 4 steps now rather than 3 steps. It's a slightly bigger tractor, but you can vary the rate. You'll see even just under here there's some bolt holes if you want to move the steps out a bit because you want a slightly shallower rate.
Oh, so you can adjust them.
Yeah, if you want to.
Customisable steps.
Some people, you can have whatever you want.
Right. Back round to the front again. One thing we've not mentioned, Greg. Styling on this.
Yeah. So as you can see, bit of a change.
It's tickling my fancy, put it that way. I know we're all different. We've all got different tastes.
Everybody does. But one thing we wanted to do is move it on, give it that. You know, this is a purposeful tractor. It's built to do a job, and hopefully you'll agree the styling looks like It's got that aggressive.
It's got a bit of presence.
It looks like it's built to do a job, and
looks
it
like
definitely
it's got a furrowed brow. Like.
Yeah, a little bit. It's thinking about the job to do, hasn't it? Really, but yeah, you can see here at the front end the new LED lights, the camera mounting in the front, slightly different styling, just to give it that bit of a, it's a new tractor.
Yeah,
we couldn't put an old bonnet on a new tractor.
No.
At the front end here, 5-ton front linkage. That's for the guys, with 300 horsepower. You're going to want to put something big on the front if you are. So we've gone to 5-ton for that. Double acting as well. And you're selectable from the cab. Front PTO. So we had a redesign with the front PTO. Still comes off the front of the crank.
Yeah.
It's through a drop box. But the drop box now has an interchangeable shaft.
On the front?
On the front. So circle it out, change the shaft round, like you'll remember from some of the older tractors. You
from
can
KSMX.
swip it round, put it back in again.
Yeah.
No having to order the machine because of the shaft you want and then changing all your UJs. You just can fix it to whatever you want.
And how many? It's 2 spools on the front, is it?
Yeah, 2 spools on the front. Yeah.
And have you got any like high flow return or anything like that on the front? Or?
There's a free flow return,
right.
as you would expect for thingy. This tractor hasn't got one because it's depending what option. This was done as a slightly, but you can have a free flow return if you want.
Yeah. So to finish off this pretty in-depth episode, as it's turned out, it was never going to go any other way, was it, Greg?
No, not really.
And we've come to, and like I say, it's all brand new. There's a lot of aspects to it, and it's been really good so far. But we'll finish off now with cab controls, technology, bit of guidance chat. We'll dive on up here. Lead the way.
Thank you.
And we'll have a look, see what you've got going on in here. So like, as we said before, this actual cab frame is still the same as it was before, is it?
Yeah. So the concept of the cab, a true 2-seater cab with some real space around you.
Yeah.
Forward rate windscreen, we've kept all that. But essentially, most of it has changed as far as interior trim.
Right.
So if we start at the top of the cab, the roof lining changed. We've got bigger speakers. We can have a subwoofer behind the seat as well if we want.
Right.
For audio, what we call our Audio Pro, to have a slightly better customer experience.
Well, take that one for me, I'll have that.
Yeah, I know you like your speakers. So then if we're working on, we've also now fully integrated the GPS receivers.
So that's in the roof now?
In the roof, fully. Right. So there's nothing set on the top of the roof. For our JCB guidance system, they're fully integrated. And you see I said receivers.
Receivers?
Because this tractor's got 2.
Go on, why is that then?
So
it's not just greed, is it?
No, it's not because we want to sell more or tick a spec sheet better.
No.
The reality is a single receiver is a single point on the earth.
Yeah.
And he doesn't actually know where it's going until it starts
moves.
to go.
Right.
Suddenly when you get 2, you've got triangulation.
Yeah.
So suddenly as soon as you turn the key on, we know where we're going, what direction we're going, and it also enables line acquisition to be quicker because you know where you're going before you go.
Before you get to the line, basically.
And also, we have a 4-wheel steer system.
Yeah.
So we need to know a little bit more about the angle of that. If we're going to make full use of that 4-wheel steer system to get on the line, having 2 receivers just gives it a rotation angle better.
So in terms of 2 receivers, where have you
They're both under here, so there's one each side. The idea is if you can get them apart, you've suddenly got 2 points on the earth. And when 2 points, you've essentially split that point apart so you can get your direction. So it's really key. And we've put them integrated because we believe in the future GPS will be a standard feature.
Especially on a tractor
this size. So we've said, well, let's not have brackets. Security is a big thing.
Yeah.
We've all read about GPS thefts.
Yeah.
But if it's already in there, it's a pretty big job to steal the receivers.
But what happens if I'm a non-JCB user?
So you can still have that. So we've still got the options of bolting brackets on if you want to.
Yeah.
So we still offer the standard features. So you plug your screen in there. The harnesses are all in for Trimble if you wanted to fit Trimble, and you put a bracket on the back of the roof.
Right.
But if you wanted to be true integrated, you've got an option with the JCB GPS system.
This is the way to go. Yeah. Right. And this is Novotel, is it?
Novotel, yeah.
Right.
So you have a Smart 7 on one side, which is the traditional one you'd recognise on the top of a tractor, and then there's a simpler Smart 2 that sits on this side.
Right.
And that's just a GPS receiver. That does a lot of the other stuff that when you want to go to RTK and things like that.
Yeah. This is just the extra bit to
get that 2 points.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, and the other, the big difference, the biggest noticeable difference visually is there's 2 screens.
Yeah. So we've got a full 2 screens. So you'll see that that's 2 identical screens there. So they're 12-inch displays. And essentially, a lot of the customer feedback was they wanted more real estate.
Yeah.
People want more real estate to do these. You know, we've got high technology when you've got ISOBUS, GPS, tractor functions, plus all the other things that you want to do with a tractor on a daily basis. One 12-inch screen. Whoever thought we'd have been where it's one 12-inch screen's not enough. So we've put 2 in, and they're fully linked by an Ethernet cable.
Right.
And it's fully adjustable, so you can put that effectively.
I was about to say,
put it where you want.
If you didn't want it up there, could you
it,
slide it down here or over there?
Put it wherever you want.
Right.
There's no. One of the feedback we got from customers was that display. Nobody could give us a consistent answer to where they wanted it. So some wanted it up at the top. Yeah. Some wanted it down here. Some wanted it over here. Some wanted it up there. Some actually even have had the thought of putting it in front of them as an option here.
Heads up display.
But yeah, effectively. but they. If you can't get a you've got to give them the option of putting it where they want. So it's on a flying lead, and you basically just bolt it where you want.
Right.
Again, it is an option because not everybody will want it.
Yeah.
But if you do,
there it is.
That. Again, full touchscreen, so you can set up. You can put your GPS on there, your tractor on there, or vice versa. And then we've also gone to what we call a layout manager now. Right. So rather than, if you remember back to Fort Icon, you had some fixed screens.
That's right, it was about half a dozen
five fixed screens. So now you still have a fixed screen, so you still get that get in and go and drive.
Crack on.
Swipe on, you can set it to whatever you want. You can full tile manager and move it around. And I'm sure you're going to spend a bit of time when you get out in the field. We're getting into that. And then in the cab here, this is pretty traditional stuff. The only bit you'll notice different, no range change,
because you don't have to do it anymore.
So there's nothing. But we've kept that the same. We're getting real good feedback for that. So let's not change what's not broken.
Yeah.
And then from this side, looks familiar, but what you'll see is there's a push button start now.
Yeah. So, above a key.
Yeah. So you've got to turn that power. So that turns your power on. That fires your GPS up. That fires all your electronics up. And then you press the button to start.
Yeah.
And then that puts a start sequence that's fixed, and it'll heat whatever it needs to do to start the engine. What that enables us to do, and this is the trick of why we've gone to push button start, is you need to, if you want to do auto stop and auto start, you need to decouple, like on your car, ignition, and you don't have a key anymore in the same way. Because what we wanted to do with this tractor is it auto stops, so you can program how long if it's idle. But what we want it to do is start again.
Yeah.
So it leaves all the GPS fired up because the ignition's still on.
So all the electronics are still fired up.
Yeah, but it'll turn the engine off, which is the bit what you want to do. That's the bit that's costing you money with every clock hour.
Yeah.
So it'll turn it off, and then if you don't use it for a long time, it'll turn the ignition off as well.
I was going to say, because you don't want to leave it too long.
But it has a set of relays that'll turn the whole lot off if it wants to.
Right.
And that's about it.
That's
really.
about it.
I mean, there's probably a load of things we haven't covered that we'll get into, but you'll get out to them when you're in the field. And
that's it. We'll dive into the operation of this tractor and all the features, the functions, well, as much as we can. Which is going to be cracking. So we've still got all that coming up. But for now, Greg, thank you very much.
It's been really good.
It has been absolutely cracking. That, like you say, this. Well, like I said, this wasn't going to be a 5-minute job this morning.
No, not really. No.
This is new from the ground up, except for that frame there, and that's it. So it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Thank you very much for you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed that as much as I have. And don't forget, we've still got episode 2 of this bit coming up, which is the driving impression of this new 6000 series, where, like we said before, we're going to get stuck into the operation, the features, the functions, and basically have a bit of a good time as well while we're doing it. But that's how we roll. So there you go, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you again next time.